Welcome back to the All Things Plastics podcast. Today, our guest is Alan, a 35-year-old reality TV personality, content creator, and events host from Dublin, joins us to share a raw and honest look at the life in the public eye and under the needle. Most recently seen on the reality show Plastic Surgery Rewind with 9 other celebrities. Alan has undergone multiple cosmetic procedures over the years, from filler to Botox and a bum lift and 360 Lipo in Ireland, Turkey, and the US. But it hasn't all been smooth sailing. Alan opens up about complications like migrated filler, uneven results, and the emotional roller coaster of aesthetic transformations. This episode is packed with laughs, lessons, and the truth about beauty culture from someone who's lived it on and off the screen. Welcome, Alan, to the podcast.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. I'm very excited.
I want to dive into everything, but I did a little bit of research on the Dublin, Ireland words, and I want to say, Alan, hell yeah, what's the story?
Yeah, you know what? That was one of the, scenes in one of the episodes of Plastic Surgery Rewind. I wanted to show Larissa how we would try and chat somebody up. So, we would say, what's the crap? What's the story? How are you keeping? And that's how we get in. And that's where you might get your Prince Charming or your Queen.
Yes, and I was like, I need to throw that in.
Absolutely.
But I do want to hear the story on where are you from, and did you always know that you were going to be a TV personality and have a spotlight in the media, honey?
Oh my God. So I am from Dublin, Ireland. I've been living here obviously all my life. I'm Irish. And I've been doing reality TV since I am like 19, 20. So I always grew up in a household with reality TV, from Big Brother to, all these other kind of shows. And I always just was fascinated that these people were actually just living their authentic lives. And I was like, I could do that. That's the life I want to live. So I suppose I manifested it, I always imagined my life would be that kind of way. And I always wanted people to know who I was. So I suppose, I just really wanted to give it a shot. And I got my first shot of the reality TV world when I was about 20. And then it all just kind of kicked off from there. So now it's like, you get an inbox like, hey, we're casting for the show. We think you'd be a great fit. Instead of many years ago where I had to apply for the shows. Now it's like I'm asked to be a part, which is easier for me and better for me.
Yes, now they're reaching out to you, which I love. And let's just talk about, you just got done filming the Plastic Surgery Rewind on E! Did they reach out to you? How was that experience? Give us all the tea.
I was minding my own business, as I always do. And chicken, let me tell you something. I got an inbox in my email and in my Instagram. And I was like, who is this? And they're basically trying to sell me the show. And I was a bit like, okay, this is too early in the morning for this. And then I kind of read the email again. And I was like, you know what? I need this kind of show, because I think the shows I've been on haven't shown the real me and haven't shown what I've been living with and how I've been kind of, affected with the kind of limelight, or affected with how I wanted to be or how I wanted to look. So when I got the call, I did my casting, and within 2 days, I got a phone call saying, they want you on the show. So, but like, it wasn't easy just like that. It was a year before we actually filmed the show. So like, this whole process was going on for about a year. So it was
all the castings and meeting with producers and everything. Yeah, it's a lengthy process.
It took a long time. Sometimes you thought the show was never going to happen, because it was always like something. Like, the start date was supposed to be May, then it was June, then it was July. So like, it was always changing. But look, so grateful, so honoured, and so privileged to be a part of the show as well. So I really enjoyed my time.
And they flew you out to California. You guys filmed in Tustin, right? California.
Yes. And I loved Tustin, and I loved California. It was my first time in California. I've been to New York and other parts of America, but it was my first time in California. But they flew me out, and again, like, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know, that I was going to be in the house with Kim Zolciak or
and Brielle Berman. I love her. She is gorge.
She is like my little sister I never had. She is like the nicest person you could ever meet. We're in touch consistently. She's coming to Ireland in September for a wedding, so we're going to hook up then. So like, we've got like, what you're seeing on camera was 100% real. We did have a really good bond, and we're still friends to this day. So it's been amazing.
Yes. And in Ireland, was their show, Kim and Brielle and the whole family growing up, was it kind of their show kind of big in Ireland, or not really?
Yes. Yeah, it was. So like, Kim is like an icon to the LGBT community. The gays love Kim.
Yes. Okay? And if anyone doesn't know who we're talking about, this is Kim from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kim Zolciak.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
and she
queen.
Is like she's a queen, and she is naturally so funny, naturally so real, and naturally just a nice person. I don't think people realise that. Don't get me wrong, I was quite intimidated when she first came into the house, because, I seen this bombshell walking down the stairs, and I was like,
a bombshell has entered the villa, honey.
The bombshell chicken has walked in, and I was like, oh my God. But she's so nice, and yes, she's very popular here. And when I was announced on the show, all the Irish were like, oh my God, you were in a house with Kim, love her. But they also love Larissa. Larissa's so popular here too, like really
Yes.
popular.
And Queen
Yes,
Larissa, I reached out to her as well, and she was like, "Yes, I want to come on the podcast." I was like, "Alan
yes,
is this weekend," and so Larissa's coming on as well, and I'm so excited because
amazing.
she got her boobies done again. She
Yes,
got them taken
yes,
out, deflated, and then put in some natural looking ones.
yes.
So I'm so
And she's
excited to
looking
share her.
good.
Yes, it
Yeah.
looks really good.
Yeah, she looks so good. So yeah, so they're all really popular in Ireland. So the show Don't Be Tardy and all these shows have always been aired in Ireland. We get all American shows. We're fascinated
Oh,
with
good. I
American
love
pop
it.
culture. So we kind of are influenced by the American pop culture. So yes, everyone knows who these girls are.
Now everyone in the US knows who Alan is.
I know it's crazy because I was there like 3 weeks ago, and like people were coming up to me like going, "Oh my God, loved you on the show. Hey, chicken!" And like that's bizarre because I'm not from America, but
Yeah.
everybody was so nice. And every day I wake up with fan mail from America, fan mail from Canada, and I think I'm starting this kind of chicken trend. Everybody wants to be my chicken, so I'm like, welcome to the chicken world.
I know. We were sending voice notes back to each other on Instagram, trying to
Yeah,
coordinate the dates and times. And he goes,
yeah,
"Yes, chicken." And I was like, "Oh
yes.
my God. Is chicken like
Uh,
girl?" Because I'll say, like, "Yes, girl." Does
Yeah,
chicken
so
mean?
chicken is like an endearment. So it's like, my little love, my honey bunny, my darling. So it's a
Love
very
that.
old thing where your granny would say, "Come here to me, my little chicken." So
Oh,
it's like a little
yes,
chicken.
yes,
So
yes.
because when I first started saying chicken in America, a lot of Americans were like, "I'm not a chicken. Like, I'm not a scaredy cat." And I'm like, "No, I don't mean you're scared. I'm just saying like you're my little love." So
It's a
chicken,
term of endearment.
there you go, chicken. You got it all
Yes.
in one.
Well, let's talk about your surgical procedures. When I was doing my research and I was watching the show, you got your first cosmetic surgery procedure at 19 years
Mm.
old, which is kind of crazy. That's kind of young.
Very. And I think I never thought of it like that. I just thought, it was what I wanted to have done. Everybody was doing it, yourself. Filler and Botox and, cheek filler and jawline filler. When I was 19, it was a huge thing. And
Hmm.
I don't think a lot of celebrities were kind of confirming they were having it done. They all just looked very enhanced. And I suppose, if I'm being really honest, I was very influenced by it. And I just wanted to be a part of that kind of group where I had something done. And I
Yeah.
suppose I was quite addicted to it because when someone says, "Oh my God, your lips are amazing," you do it again, you do it again, and you don't
Yeah.
realize that you're
Once you get
overfilling.
one compliment, you're like, my gosh, like, okay, like, let's go bigger. Let's do this.
Exactly. It's like, and before I went on plastic surgery rewind, I had a lot of people saying, "Oh my God, your bum is just perfect. It's so subtle. It's like a love heart. It's so plump. It's not too big." And I was a bit like, "Oh my God, like, will I go a little bit bigger because people are saying they like it?" But thankfully, plastic surgery rewind came in time because that changed my perception now of going back underneath the knife.
Yeah. And, getting cosmetic surgery at 19 for the first time is honestly wild. But sadly, in this day and age, it's starting to become very common.
Mhm.
Girls are getting their rhinoplasties or girls are getting their breast dogs at 19. They turn 18 and it's like, okay, I'm going to go get the girls done. Like, it's really
Mhm.
common right now.
I suppose like in Europe, it's a little bit more cheaper. Like you can fly to the likes of Lithuania, you can fly to like Turkey, and I suppose it's like very easy to afford.
It's
Where I
easier
think
to attain. Yeah.
exactly, and I think all you have to do is probably save up 3 or 4 months' salary maybe, and you're
Hmm.
able to get your work done. So I think it's because it's given to you very quickly and very easy. I think a lot of people just jump on the bandwagon and get it done. We don't think about the after effects, the complications, or what could
No.
go wrong. We just think about, my God, it's only going to cost me 4,000 euro. I'm going to get this done. So that's all we think of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, you at 19, what was your first procedure?
Lip fillers. Lip
Okay.
fillers. Yeah. I was just fascinated with everybody having really big lips, from film stars to other reality TV stars. And I was just like, my God. Like, I don't really want to blame the Jenners or the Kardashians, but I suppose they were like a big kind of thing for us in Ireland because we didn't
Yeah.
really have people just like them. They looked so perfect. And even more and more as the years go on, they just get better and better and
Yes.
better
And,
and
the
better.
whole King Kylie era with the lip filler and the lip kits, like that was huge.
Huge. And I think then when Kylie brought out her lip kit, like she had her lips done. And I think people thought, "Oh my God, I'm going to get the lip kit and I'm going to have lips like
Yeah.
Kylie." You're never going to have
Do
lips
you
like Kylie.
remember that? And then like the
Yes.
media shut down when she finally announced, like, yeah, I got like a little bit of lip filler,
Yes.
and the whole world
Exactly.
stopped. I swear
The
to
whole
God.
world stopped. And I think a lot of people are very disappointed. So I think, we all just were very influenced. We were all just like, "Oh my
Of
God, Kylie
course.
brought a lip. We're going to have Kylie's lip." It's like, Kim with the skin. We're going to have her body. And then she brought this new bandage thing out for your face where you can, and there's
Yes.
controversy over that now. So,
There is so much. At first, I didn't see it like that. And then the headlines were like, Kim Kardashian is now making more women insecure because now they have to go to sleep with a head garment to try to achieve a certain look. And I'm like, she's kind of getting dragged right now.
yeah, she is. But like, I don't know what to make of it. Would I be very influenced by it? Probably
I'm
because
not
again,
buying that. I already have enough going on when I sleep. I'm like, I have my retainers, I have my
I
head, I have my face
I
mask.
know I'm
I
all for the
can't add
retainer.
that.
I know, but then I suppose it's for people who are considering having surgery. It might turn them off going down that route. So it's like a hit and miss, the
Hit
kind of
or
way.
miss.
So
Yeah.
you just don't know. But look, they are just very clever business people, I suppose, and
She's a
they
business
knew.
girly. She's going to get her coin.
Exactly. And she knows it's going to be talked about. And I don't think she really cares because at the end of the
No.
day, it's all been approved and it's going to sell out. So that's the way
Yes.
it is,
And
you
I'm
know?
waiting for the day for Kim to start doing post op garments. Like, I think she already has a waist trainer, I think.
Yes, I
And
think she
imagine
does.
she starts doing the fajas and all of that. That would be crazy.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if she brings that out. So buckle up, buckle up.
Yes. Now, you call it a butt lift, but out here in the US or in California, we call it a BBL.
Yeah.
And you had a butt lift and 360 lipo. When did you get this done and where?
So 2 years ago, I got this done in Lithuania. In a place called Kaunas. Yeah. So like it's only a 2 hours flight from Ireland to like Lithuania. And obviously I went there and had it done. Now I done this through a collaboration. So I was a brand ambassador for a clinic in Ireland.
Oh,
So I was offered the treatment which I chose to have at my own discretion.
uh-huh.
And it was what I wanted to have done. So I flew to Lithuania and I had my 360 lipo and my Brazilian bum lift there. So two
Now,
years ago.
did they? Yeah. Oh my God. That was kind of recently. I thought you
Yeah.
had it a while ago, but it's
Yeah.
fairly recently. And,
Very.
I saw, we'll dive more into this, but, I saw your body and your butt lift. It's so natural and subtle. You can't even really tell. It looks good.
Yeah. I suppose saying that, yeah, it is. But I suppose when you haven't got your clothes on and you can see a little bit more, and obviously I don't want to expose that online because that's not the kind of content creation I want to
Yeah.
create, you know. But if you've seen it without clothes, it does just kind of, it's like it's a lift and it's there and it has kind of like a love kind of peach kind of shape.
Uh-huh.
And I suppose people do always say, like, oh my God, you've got a good butt, you must work out. And I just say, yeah, now because I don't really want to go
You
underneath the
don't
whole
want to
question.
go into the whole story,
Yeah.
honey. You don't have time for all
Yeah.
that.
And
Watch the
people are
show if you want to know.
exactly, yeah. Watch the show. It's streaming now everywhere. So I was just like, not telling anyone that I got it done, but I just got it done. I think I wasn't sure what I got it done. I think it was again to try and fit in, to try and, be included in what the new thing was. And I thought maybe potentially it might bring me more work. It might bring me more,
Yes.
content creation.
Because
But
you're in the spotlight.
exactly. And all I kept thinking was, I'm going to get it done. I'm doing it for me. Being in the spotlight, like, I suppose I thought this potentially could bring me more work. Like, I could make more money. But I honestly didn't know why I was doing it. I just jumped on the bandwagon and I was like, I want to be included in this big, huge BBL kind of frenzy.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting it done. And I said, you know what? Let me just be included in this and let me do it. I suppose, but I'm just very honest. I just wanted to be included. I just wanted to stand out. I just wanted to be
Yeah.
recognized more. I just thought it could bring me work. And that was the main reason why I just jumped on and got it done.
Now, what I really want to know is when this surgery center or doctor reached out to you, did you do a little bit of research on them or were you like, oh, I'm going to get free lipo BBL? Like, no, I'm going for it.
Can I be honest? Yes, 100%. And the people that I worked with, fantastic. I couldn't fault them at all. I was very blessed that I had a really good surgeon that took really care of
Oh,
me.
yeah, you got lucky that it was
Yeah.
a good surgeon and a good
Yeah, and
team
I
because
suppose if I'm going to be a brand ambassador for this clinic, they'd want to give you the full support and give you the full experience and to
of
make sure that you're
course.
going to be fine. So I knew that my life was in very good hands, I suppose. But I worked really closely with this company, and they were fantastic. And I can't sit here and say anything negative about them. They gave me full support, but
Good.
I think for me, it was just, I didn't know why I was doing it. That's all.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't sit here and tell you, well, this is why I got it done, and that's why I got
Yeah.
it done. I think it was just more so I wanted to be a part of the next generation of plastic surgery kind of people. That's all I think I
Yeah.
wanted to do. That's all I can say.
And did you fly by yourself to go get this procedure or did you take somebody with you?
I took my best friend Paul with me.
Okay.
And he's so funny and he kept me company every day. Like he was getting up performing Britney Spears at 4 a.m. in the morning. He was going around with a trolley pretending he's on the airplane going, what's Britney's song? Is it Toxic? Toxic?
Yes.
Yeah, so he was doing everything to keep me going while I was recovering. But I had a very good recovery because I took things
Good.
very seriously. So before I had surgery, I did an oxygen chamber where I inhaled oxygen to, allow
Yes.
my muscles to heal properly, the swelling, the
Beautiful.
bruising. And then I also, didn't drink any alcohol. I was eating very well. I was working out in the gym. So I took it very seriously
Yes.
because as a brand ambassador, I wanted to make sure that I was being very consistent and very accurate with my results.
I love that. I love that you were so on top of it and you were doing everything to have the best results because that's what everybody should be doing.
Yeah, like the only negative thing I have about this liposuction is that I get very bloated very quickly, and I don't think the results worked in the stomach area. Sometimes I can be a bit bloated and sometimes I can be flat. And then I feel like sometimes that the rest of the fat is going to my face sometimes, where I look at myself in the mirror and go, oh my God, my face is quite chubby. So I know that fat can't go back to the areas that's been sucked
Mm-hmm.
from, but I know it can go back to the areas that you don't have
Yes.
it there. So that's the only thing, the negative downside of it is that I feel like it goes to my chest, it goes to my face, my
You're
jaws.
gaining weight. If you are gaining weight, it's going in other places besides your abdomen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that just is the part where I hate it. So I always tell people, think about it. It's not a magic wand. It's not going to make you so skinny for the rest of your life. You have to look after, you have to maintain it,
Yeah.
you have to have a really good diet, you have to work out. So,
Yeah.
it's a hit and miss when you're getting it done.
And were you so nervous because this was your first actual like plastic surgery procedure? It wasn't filler, it wasn't microneedling. Like this was your full on going under anesthesia and you are getting a procedure.
I thought literally that maybe I'm never going to wake up again. Sometimes I kind of got those visions saying, oh my God, like
Yeah.
this could be it. But I suppose with the whole experience I had, the nurses, the doctors were just so good with me that I didn't realize when they kind of gave me the anesthesia, injection, that next of all I was getting, I remember it really well. I remember just kind of joking with them all and kind of making jokes about them. And next of all, I was out
You're
for the count,
out.
out. And
Oh,
I woke up, I remember this, and I was on my back. And the first thing I said was, why am I on my back? My BBL, my BBL, my BBL. And the doctor was like, it's okay, relax. And they switched me back over. And then I was kind of,
yes. So,
yourself when you're on anesthesia, you get like nausea, you have like
yes.
diarrhea. Sorry for being very full on, but like your stomach is in a really bad place. You can't even put
Yeah.
food down, and everything is flying out of you because you have been put through so much, during the surgery. So
Yes.
I was just happy that the main thing is I think I cried when I woke up because I was just happy to be alive. That's all I
I
was.
cried too. When
Yeah,
I got my breast done, I woke up
yeah.
and I just remember just bawling, crying. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
I
for
think that's the
what.
first thing. And then I didn't even ring my best friend who was with me. I rang his boyfriend. And I don't even know why I rang him because my best friend, I'm closer to him. Not that I'm not closer to his boyfriend, but I am. But we
Yeah.
just talk every day. So I rang his boyfriend going, oh my God, I'm alive, I'm alive. My friend was like, you're not going to call me and tell me you're alive. I'm like, oh, I don't even know what's going on. But
It's the drugs, honey.
yeah, it's drugs. And I think I was half naked showing the whole world my stomach and I didn't have any clothes on. I don't know what was happening. But look, we're
Yes.
high. We don't know what's going on.
Yes, it's so funny because the girls that get BBLs, right? We roll them into the recovery room, the PACU, and we're putting them on the vitals, we're making sure they're well, we're sitting them up, and literally they wake up and the first thing they look at me and they're like, "Why am I sitting on my bottom?" And I'm like, "Girl, like I gotta make sure you're breathing. I gotta make sure you're not throwing up on yourself. I
Yes.
gotta make sure you're safe and oriented. And then once I feel like okay, you can swallow some water, you're okay, then I will flip you over. But I'm not gonna flip you over when you're passed out. Like,
I know. I know. I think that's the first thing because I was like, I know I can't sit in my butt for a couple of weeks. So I was like, why am I on my butt? But it was fine. They automatically switched me over and I was on my tummy, which was the hardest part of the whole recovery
yes,
because I
sleeping
like
on your
my back.
stomach.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I can't do that. Waking up with puffy eyes and your hair
Yes.
static, and it was horrible. But to be very honest, I had a very good recovery. I had a very good experience, and I was very blessed with the surgeon I chose and the company I chose. That I didn't have any complications. Everything just
Good.
went really smooth for me, and yeah, I got good results and natural results. And I think
Yes,
that's
natural.
what they wanted to do with me because this clinic is all about no, you can have some enhancements, but like let's make it natural. You don't need to go for that, Amanda
Yeah.
Lepore look or the kind of way. You just want to look natural. So I was very happy with the results, I suppose, when I got it done.
How long did you stay out there to recover after your procedures?
A week.
Okay. You stayed
And
out a
then
week and then you flew back?
I flew back, and that was the hardest part because I had to sit on my hunkers. And, like,
Yeah.
you can't sit in your bum. Like, I suppose I could have cheated and just sat on my bum for the whole 2 hours, but I just didn't want to affect the BB at the time. So I was like, I took everything very seriously. I was terrified to go to the toilet. Like, chicken, the last thing I wanted to
Yeah.
do was squat and then something happens to the bum, the kind of
Yeah.
way. So I was terrified to wipe my bottom. Everything I was scared of doing
Yes.
when I had it done because you're black and blue and you're a little bit numb and you can't feel anything. But when I got the liposuction, I'm going to be very honest now, but I got the liposuction, my private area was like a balloon, like black,
Your Mons?
purple.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. And
my
that
down
is
below.
that's very common, but it is very shocking that your Mons pubis area, which your private area,
Oh my God.
swells up. Wherever you get incision or wherever you get surgery, the swelling goes under that. So, like when
Yeah.
I got my breast done, my whole abdomen was swollen. And I was like, oh my gosh, why is my abdomen swollen? But if you get a tummy tuck or if you get lipo or whatever, anything under that, which is your private areas, it swells. So, yeah,
Yeah.
people get
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
terrified. Like, what
That
is
was the most.
happening?
Yeah, I rang my surgeon straight away and I was like, oh my God. He was like, that's normal. It's just, we went really low down there and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, but like after a couple of weeks, I went back to normal.
It
So,
goes away. Yeah. But it is
yeah.
scary. Speaking on that, I need to do a video on that because a lot of people
Yes.
really don't know. So
Yeah,
that's
they
another
don't, because
content
I didn't
idea.
even know that could have happened. So I suppose
Yeah.
it was a big shock when I went to the bathroom and looked down and I was black and blue, purple, yellow, whatever. I was like, oh my God, like it's gonna fall off. So but everything is working now, chickens. Call
Yay.
me.
I love it. Now, when you were recovering, did they put you in a hotel with like a private duty nurse, or did you have your friend just take care of you the whole time?
So I was in their hospital for like 4 or 5 days.
Okay, they have their
And
own recovery
oh
center.
my God, it was like a hotel. And like so nice, yeah. And like the nurses were amazing. And you have to remember, their first language isn't English. They were so nice. I had lymphatic massages. I
Yes.
had like soup. I had breakfast. I had coffee whenever I wanted. And there was sometimes, what's that thing called again? That's inside your incision, and it's like a bag, and there's like what's it called?
Is it a
Wait, like
suture? Are you talking about a suture or a
it's a
JP drain?
drains, yes.
The
And
drains.
like my drains were always falling out because I was so like confused why they were in, and they were so good to come back in the room and fix my drains and wash me up and take off my garment, wash my garment, put me in the shower, take me out of the shower. At the start, I was like, I don't really want people to see me in my vulnerable way, like as in I'm fully
Yeah.
nude here. This is my pride and joy. I don't want people, but they made me feel so
So
comfortable that
comfortable.
I
Good.
didn't really care. And I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I think I probably would have minded if it was a man, maybe. I think it's because it was a woman. I was a bit
Hmm.
like, okay, I've no interest in women. So, like, this
Yeah.
is fine. They've no interest in me because I'm not that type of guy for them. So, I think if it was a man, I would have been a little bit
Been a little
less
bit more, you would have been uncomfortable, which is
uncomfortable. Yeah.
totally reasonable.
Yeah. And I just felt really good. But they were so good. So, I was there for like 4 or 5 days. And then I went for the last 2 or 3 days to the hotel. And then I flew home.
Good. Now, can you guess how much Lipo BBL is here in California in Beverly Hills? Do you want to
Oh
guess?
my God. I'm actually scared, but I'm going to guess like 30,000.
Yes.
Really?
30. Yes, it's around $30,000 if you don't go to like a celebrity doctor or a TikTok famous doctor. You're looking anywhere between 20 to $30,000 for lipo BBL. Obviously, if you go to a fancy doctor, they could charge you anywhere from 35, 40,000, 45,000. But
Oh my God, it's a lot of
yeah,
money.
you're
And I
right. You're
think what I had done would have cost around 6 to 8 thousand.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna ask you. I know you didn't pay for it, but I was like, how much would it have cost? $5,000 to $8,000
Yeah, I
roughly.
think so. Yeah, I never really asked, but the surgeon I had was like the top surgeon in Lithuania. So I suppose he was a bit more expensive. And obviously, the company wanted to make sure I had the best surgeon to obviously
Of
show the
course, to
results.
have
Yeah,
showing good results.
exactly. And like, yeah, so it was around, I think they said to me around, I definitely know more than eight, but up to 8,000, definitely.
Okay. And do you think you would ever go back to them to touch anything up or get anything else done? Or are you like, no, I'm good. I'm not going back to Lithuania?
Do you know what? In this time of my life now, I feel a little bit healed after being on plastic surgery rewind. That I don't feel I need to go back underneath the knife. I'm 34, going 35. I know on the show they had my date of birth 1985. That's totally wrong. It's not 1985. It's 1989. But anyways, and so I'm nowhere near 40. Not that there's anything wrong with 40, chicken, but I
Did you
ain't 40
contact
yet.
the producers? Like, excuse me, you have my age wrong on this reality show that's going
No.
nationwide?
I was just like, God love them. Do you know what I mean? They're so busy. They're dealing with nine big personalities. They probably got my
Yes.
date of birth wrong with somebody else's date of birth. So I am only 35. So I'm like, oh my God, would I do it again? No, I'm okay for now. Like, I'm
You're
actually,
content and you love what you have going on, and you're like, I'm
yeah,
chilling.
exactly. And I was out today, I had a few interviews today and I was doing some press and I was talking to a friend of mine. We went for lunch and they even said to me, you're so different in yourself now. Like, you're not as conscious on your look. You're not as like, oh my God. Like, and I stopped doing the whole selfie era now. I'm just living my life. And
Yes.
yes, with being on this show, I know I have to be a little bit more active because I'm gaining more followers and I'm gaining more
Yeah.
engagement. And every morning I wake up, I have message requests for other podcasts and this and that. And I know it's because of the vulnerable story that I gave on the
Yes,
show
being
that I was
so
just,
vulnerable and open
yeah.
and everyone can relate. You're relatable right now, which I
Yeah, and
love.
I think I didn't realize that I was being that honest. I just thought I was just always being me. And then when I watch it back, I'm like, okay, I really did tell everybody what I've been going through. So because you
Yeah.
forget in the moment of the time that you're in this house for a couple of weeks and the cameras are on, that you don't really notice them after a while because you're really genuinely having a conversation with somebody that you don't
Hmm.
really realize that people are watching, and then you
It's
don't
being
realize
recorded.
exactly,
Yeah.
and then you don't realize the whole world. Because in Ireland, when I do reality TV, we only see it in Ireland, but when you do it in America, the whole world sees it.
World
So
sees it.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's different, and there's so many ways of catching this show by streaming it. It's on YouTube, then it's on Instagram, it's everywhere. It's on TikTok, and
TikTok,
like
all the reels, it's
everywhere.
promo everywhere.
Everywhere. And I think I got so much promo from the show that a lot of people were like, who is this person? Like,
Yes.
who is this person? And I think people were just a bit like, I don't want to know about this person because I don't know them. But I think after the first episode, they were like, we want to know more. We
Who
want to know
is
more.
Yes, ginger, chicken, fabulous.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And that's how it all began. So to answer your question, I'm very content. I'm very happy. But
Yay.
I am a human being at the end of the day. So,
Of
your
course.
mind always changes, situations always
Always.
change.
But
So
as
for
of right
now,
now, you're comfortable.
exactly. Right now I'm just happy and blessed.
Love it. Now, beyond surgery, you've had a number of aesthetic treatments. You've had filler, Botox, PDO threads, Potenza RF microneedling, etc. And on Plastic Surgery Rewind, Dr. Dubrow said that your fillers were too much and that it was overfilled. How did hearing that make you feel? And did you notice that you were overfilled before?
Not really, to be honest. I think I was very denial with it all. A lot of my friends would always be saying, like, lay off the filler, Ellen, like it's gone too much. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when I got the cheek done, I always noticed like bubbles and bumps, and then
Yeah.
my lips would have bubbles. And I think what I noticed really with the lips is that I was getting it really up here. The filler, it was kind of going migrating up here.
Mm,
So I
yes.
was just like, oh my God. But I didn't go on that show really about the fillers. I went on about the Brazilian bum lift, and then it ended up that I got the whole fillers taken out, which was a blessing in disguise because if I didn't get the fillers taken out, I think to this very single day, I would be still out and about getting filler done. Like, because I would never have known to get them
Yeah.
dissolved. Like, people are reaching out to me every day saying, hey, where can you get them dissolved? Like, and then I put up that I don't know. I'm not going to answer that because, with GDPR ways now, if I give wrong information, I could be sued. So I'm just going to
Yeah.
say, contact the person who done your filler and see if they can dissolve it. A lot of nurses have been reaching out saying if someone can perform filler, they're able to perform dissolver. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I was very lucky that I got all mine taken out, and then I had Chona, which is like the best
Yes. And
skin god.
Peachona. Yes.
Yes, I love Shona, and she just looked after my skin so well. Because you know yourself, if you're going to have fillers removed, which I wouldn't have known, it can make your skin get very droopy. It can make
Yes.
your
It's
elastic.
not so, yes, the elasticity is down. It's not so bouncy and youthful. And
Yes,
that's
yeah.
why people get fillers to fill in, the gaps and make it more
Mhm.
youthful and bouncy. And then when you dissolve it, it's a little harsh. It can be for sure.
Yeah, so I think having the microneedling and the RF and the Pausenza was gorgeous to have done, and the results speak for themselves. I have makeup on today, but my skin is more glowier, and I just think it's just nicer, it's subtle, and I'm not as really dark with the foundation anymore because I changed my hair color. My
Yes.
makeup is a little bit more subtle, it's more lighter, it's not as orangey, it's not as dark, it's just perfect the way it is now. So
Uh-huh.
I was with Chona 2 weeks ago in LA, and she'd done my third session, so I'm due to fly back, I think, end of September, October for my fourth session. So yeah, I can't wait to get it done again because it just makes a big difference to my skin.
Love it. And when I was watching the show and you chose to dissolve your filler, which was so iconic, you went with NP Chona. And you stated that it was so painful. And because the filler was already migrating when she was taking it out, tell us about that experience because I have never experienced that or seen that with it being so painful when they're dissolving the filler.
So painful. Like it was so, so painful. I had so much filler that I think initially when I met Shona and Terry DeBro, we had a bit of a consultation and we didn't realize there was so much filler in my lips and that, on my cheek, it was all migrating to my temple. We didn't even realize it. So
Yeah.
it was that much. And she thought when she was dissolving my filler, it was all gone, but it actually wasn't. So we had to do
It
another
was
round.
moving. The filler
Yes,
was moving
moving.
up.
Yes. So we had to redo it again, I think a few days later. So it was a long process, but reality TV is not going to show the whole process because we don't have time for that chicken.
Of
So
course.
we have to give airtime to the other cast members. Not all about Alan McGarry. Well, not yet anyway, chicken. So
Not
buckle
yet,
up. Not
sweetie.
yet. So yeah, like I had to migrate it, but it was painful. It probably I don't know what it is with me, but I am not immune to numbing cream. Like it doesn't work on me.
The lidocaine doesn't work, the topical lidocaine.
You need to give me
Ooh.
a dental block. You need to put me on a Valium, and you need to give me a Xanax to get me going. Because let me tell you something, chicken. That was worse than getting filler in my face. Worse. Yes, it was painful.
Oof. I
Yeah.
would be so scared if and it's your face, so you're just freaking out and you can't really move, but like they have to get it
But,
done. So I would
yeah,
just be laying there like,
I know. But you know what? For me, I knew I was in safe hands with Shona, so I
yes.
knew that like she knew what she was doing, and she's
She's amazing.
gorgeous.
She's gorgeous. I love her content.
She's
And
gorgeous. She's actually
yes,
so pretty, and she's so mindful, and
she
she
just
knows
seems
her thing.
educated. She knows her shit. And
That's what it is.
Dr. Dubrow would not have an NP under him who doesn't know their shit.
She's the bee's knees in that place. And I tell you something. I love that woman. Chona, if you're watching Chicken, thank you so much for my lovely face.
Now, to circle back, when you were getting casted for Plastic Surgery Rewind on E, you were only supposed to go to talk about your lipo and your BBL. But then when did the script flip that they wanted to talk about your filler and all your aesthetic treatments? Were they like,
I
hold
think
on, wait, we want to do this?
I think because I spoke a little bit about it in the house, and that I kind of mentioned in the house that I was ginger. So I never really told the casting team that I had naturally ginger hair.
Oh.
So they knew. And then you remember Dr. Spirit, the psychologist on the show, the
Yes.
doctor? She is a body image expert. So she was able to understand that. Okay, Alan has a little bit more hair than just a BBL. I think Alan has been doing various things to themselves to change their appearance, to be accepted, to be loved, to be wanted, to be, a
Oh.
different person. And then she kind of spoke to me on camera and was just like, you need to do what's best for you. But, under all of this, where's Alan? So I think
Yeah.
going on that show again just made me feel so comfortable and so ready to actually say, you know what? I think it's time to just get rid of the black hair and the fillers and just go back to my natural self. So it just happened naturally. So it wasn't like a producer said, okay, you're ginger, you're going back ginger. That was never going to be the
Okay.
case.
I was so curious.
No, no, this show 100% was like, you didn't have to do anything you didn't want to do. Like, you don't have to go underneath tonight. The whole journey is about, are you ready to make that decision? And if
Love
you are
it.
ready to make that decision, then you have the opportunity to reverse what you had done. So even though it's called Plastic Surgery Rewind, but people go on the show and people don't realize that there's other
How
things that
deep it
I've done.
actually go, the mental
Exactly.
health aspect, the
Yeah, and I
emotional
suppose
aspect.
just on the show, I just told the producers that I'm going back ginger. And they were like,
I
you
love
want to
it.
go back
I
ginger?
love the ginger.
Do you
I
like
was
it?
looking at the black versus the ginger. The black was so harsh on your
Very.
features. The
Everyone,
ginger, it makes you stand out too. Like you don't see that many ginger. So when you do see it, you're like, wait, like
yes,
iconic.
yes,
Yeah.
iconic. I think when I had the dark hair, everyone thought I was Latino. So like when I was in
Yeah.
Dublin, people would be like, "Oh my God, you're from Brazil, you're from there," and I was like, "Do you look like a bit Latina?" And I kind of loved it because I have a lot of Latina friends. Like, oh my God! And even now that I changed my hair color, people still think I'm either from like some part of Latin America too. I think it's because my facial
The
features, or
features or the
I don't.
eyebrows or
Yes, so maybe I
something.
don't particularly look like a typical Irish person, but yeah, I suppose you're right in what you're saying. It was very harsh on my skin
It
and
was
very hard
harsh.
to maintain because my ginger was always coming out so
No,
quick
keep
that I
the
had.
ginger, keep it,
Yeah, no, I
love
am.
it. It
Yeah,
gives
no,
you like that's your look. Like
that's
that's
my look.
Alan.
That's
Yes.
Alan, the OG chicken.
Yes. And so on the show on national TV, you had to strip it all back. No makeup, no filters, nothing to hide behind. Were you so nervous and did you feel exposed when they had you guys take up off all your makeup when you first got to the house on Plastic Surgery Rewind? Because I know a couple of you guys were so hesitant. Like, oh no, I just have to
Uh,
take off all my glam and like look at myself in the mirror. How did
I
that moment feel for you?
I didn't want to do it. That's the truth. I really didn't want to do it at all. But I suppose when someone like Michelle, who is like the presenter of the show and
Mm-hmm.
is always fabulous looking. I just thought, she can do it and she can show the whole world her true beauty and the way she looks. And why do I have to hide it? The kind of ways. It was just something that I didn't want to do, to strip that all off on national TV and have everybody, you're in a vulnerable situation.
Yeah.
So you just, everyone, I had that connection with Kim and Brielle and Larissa and
Mm-hmm.
Aubrey. I suppose we just done it as a team.
Do it as a
And
team. It's easier to do it together.
exactly. I think if it was a position of doing it on my own, I probably would have struggled with it. And I
Yeah.
think having the likes of Michelle be an ally and then obviously having the rest of the cast members and the rest of the celebrities do it, I just felt like, well, I'm with these now. So if they're doing it, I'm gonna not let the team down. I'm gonna prove the team that we can do this. So it was hard, but I'm happy I done it because it was a challenge and it's something that I never thought I'd ever do. So it was nice to be a part of that. And it's very
Yes.
iconic. And I think it's something
So
that
iconic.
will go down in
And
history on that show.
yes, and I really, really, really love that the host, she also took off her makeup. She didn't stay full glam and had you guys take off your makeup. She goes, I'm going to do it too. And I was like, oh my gosh, like,
Yeah.
love that.
And like when you're in this retreat, you don't know what's going to happen. So like you're not tipped off by a producer to say today's challenge is you're going to wear no makeup. Absolutely, you're not told nothing like that. You just
Yeah.
sitting on the sofa. And I remember Michelle walking in with the wipes and the cotton pads, and I was like, "What is she doing?" And then I was like, "Oh, here we go." But look,
Shit.
I'm happy I done it because if I didn't do it, I think I would have been a sourpuss. And I'm not a
Yeah.
sourpuss. I give anything a go, and it was a challenge, and I'm very happy that I participated in that challenge because that for me was an iconic one. My
And I,
favorite one, I think.
believe by everything happens for a reason, and you being picked and casted to be on Plastic Surgery Rewind was just meant to be. And you just seem so lighter, so much happier, so much more confident. And I think that was obviously the goal of the show. And
Yeah.
it worked.
Yeah, and I do agree everything you're saying there 100%. And I think if I didn't have a BBL and if I didn't go underneath the knife, would my story be good enough for the show? So I feel like something was planned for me from
Mm-hmm.
God or from somebody that was creating this life for me. And, going down the route of having a BBL and 360 lipo, then to kind of go reverse the whole situation and be like, okay, you had it done, but now a situation has come up. They want you on this show. So it's like it was planned for me from the
Yes.
universe that this was where my life was supposed to go. And I think it was like to say, you've learned your lesson. You didn't need to have this done. You didn't need to have your fillers, your BBL, your lipo. So now you're going to go on this show and you're going to find out who you really are. And it's going to make you rethink about your life going forward. So definitely, this was a blessing in disguise for me. And before I went on this show, I just wasn't myself. I was just
Mm-hmm.
very like, I wouldn't say depressed, I wouldn't say down, but this is something I never spoke about before. But I
Mm-hmm.
just didn't feel like I was fitting into society. I just didn't feel as if
Mm,
I was accepted or people wanted to be with me. And life was just very boring. It was just very like, I didn't know where I was going. Like
yeah.
the street was just never ending. It was like a big dark tunnel. And I was just like, oh, where am I going in life? So when I got that call, I needed this more than anything. And I suppose because the show took about a year for it to actually film and to
Uh-huh.
actually go, I felt every day I was riddled with anxiety because I was like, have they changed
Oh,
their mind?
yeah.
They
The
found a better
waiting, the
that
suspense of
yes,
waiting.
have they found a better celebrity, or am I not the one, or am I too, is it too expensive to take me on because I'm flying from Ireland? So all these thoughts were going through my head every day. That all my friends like, calm down, you're going on the
Yes.
show, it's gonna happen. And the moment I got the call to say, we want you to go in the house in the first week, I just jumped up, packed my bags, and I just got ready. I think I got 2 days notice, and I was gone.
What? Oh my
Yes, gone.
goodness.
Gone. Because we knew we were going into the house, but we just
Yes.
didn't
Didn't
know
know exactly when.
exactly in what stages because it was going to be like drips and drabs of different celebrities going in all the time. So I'm just happy, I suppose, being in the group with Kim and Brielle and Arissa because
And I
obviously,
was going to say, did you know the 8 other celebrities in the house with you, or was that a surprise when you walked through those doors?
yeah, I didn't know. We never saw them. So I was in a hotel for 2 weeks before we even filmed the show. So we had to do like even when we went to the house to do our photo shoots, we had like blindfolds so we couldn't see.
Shut up.
Yeah, so everything was very discreet. Nobody knew nothing. Nobody will tell you who's going into the house. We didn't know there's going to be two other people. When we're sitting down, Aubrey O'Day comes in, Jessica Dimes comes in. So we didn't know they were coming.
I know. Aubrey O'Day. Oh,
Yes,
I was like, this is an iconic cast. We have Brielle Burnham, Kim Zoliak, Aubrey O'Day. Like,
I know.
iconic.
And then again, I didn't know they were going to have these big kind of names. I
Big,
thought content
bigger celebrities.
creators, TikTokers,
No, they mixed it
influencers.
all
They
together.
mixed it all up. And I
Which makes
suppose,
such a good, like, it shows different sides of things and different opinions and
well, it
different
kind of shows
lives.
it shows the world. Like when people are talking bad about the lives of these celebrities on the show, like Kim gets a lot of people saying really nasty things online, and I don't honestly understand why.
I know.
But
My
at the
poor
end of the
Kim
day,
girl.
she is in the house with me. She doesn't know me, okay, first of
Hmm.
all. And I'm not on her level. So if she treated me with respect on that, like, can people not see through that? That she was just a
Yeah.
really nice person, that she was actually really good fun. We laugh 24/7. Like, I was pissing
Yes.
myself laughing at her. She's
She's
so funny.
funny.
Very,
What about
very funny.
what about Aubrey? Aubrey kind of seemed like to herself a little bit, but she was still nice, it seemed like. But
Yeah, I think with Aubrey, she was going through a lot, the whole P. Diddy situation.
yes.
So she went into the house, so she was just very, going through a really hard time. So she's nice. She's, very, very, it's Aubrey O'Day, the kind of way,
It
like
is
she is
Aubrey
Aubrey
O'Day, baby.
O'Day. But, I didn't really know who she was, to be honest with you. I knew Danity Kane, but I didn't
Yes.
know one particular band member. But, it all
Yes.
made sense as time went down the line. She's nice, but she was just going through a really, really hard time. And I
Yeah.
think she had a lot of things going on, but you can see now on social media she's looking great. Her
She
body's
dissolved
amazing.
her lips and they
She looks
looked
great.
so good. Like,
She looks amazing. And I met her
yes.
in December at the reunion. So we have a reunion episode coming out in episode 8 where we're all together and she looks amazing. And I couldn't believe the weight she lost. Like
Yeah.
she just looks so, so, so good. So I'm happy for her. And yeah, she's nice, but I didn't get enough time to spend with her in the house. I think I got like 4 or 5 days and then I left. So I didn't really get to see her much, but she's a nice person.
Love it. And when is this reunion airing on TV?
So there's 8 episodes, so it'll be the 8th episode. So I think that comes out on the 27th of August, August
Okay.
27th.
In a
So we
couple
still have
weeks.
2 more episodes to go. And then episode 8 is when we're all back together talking about our new looks and kind of discussing how life has
Yeah.
been since
A
we
little
met.
debrief.
Exactly. And how life has been since, changing and converting back to our natural selves.
Love it. Now, last but not least, what advice would you give to anyone thinking about starting their own cosmetic journey?
I would say, really think about it and do it for you and not do it for others or for the world or for just thinking that it's going to get you something different. And just be
Mm-hmm.
mindful and do your research and take a step back and understand the situation you're putting yourself in because it can be mentally draining, it can be hard, it can be stressful. So I would say just consider, take a deep breath and just be
Yeah.
mindful of what you're going to do because it's like ordering clothes online, it can be very addictive. And next of all, you do it and you're like, why did I buy that? And the good thing about clothes, you can return it, but you just can't return what you get done. So that's the only
No.
advice I give. And just be cautious. If you really want to get it done and your mind's made up. And I don't get me wrong, there's women out there that really want their boobs done because
Yeah.
unfortunately they weren't born with, the size they want. And I get that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all for that. You do what's best for you. But it
Yeah.
was extreme stuff and there's no need for it. And it's just because you want to fit in the way I did. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's not worth it. Sometimes it's just like leave it alone and just don't worry about it. Something better and bigger will come your way.
Yes. And I think we're breaking barriers with social media like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and everyone sharing their journeys and talking about their procedures and just being more open. It is showing women that, like, oh, actually, I don't need to get a BBL because that's the trend right now. It's allowing space to really think about, do you want this for you or are you doing this because of influence or society or
Exactly.
celebrities?
I,
So
I,
I
I think as well, we're going down a stage now that a lot of public figures are coming out now and saying what they have and what they haven't had done.
Kylie girl, Chloe, Chris, everyone, Alex
Everybody,
is dropping the tea on what
Yeah,
they
and I
got
don't.
done.
I think aesthetics won't be a thing for much longer. As in, people will get it done, but I don't think it's going to be a thing where everyone wants. She look, La Boo Boo now is the biggest thing on the trend now. So everything is changing every week. You just don't know what's going to happen. You're going to wake
Yeah.
up. We're going to go to Mars next. So everything changes. So I suppose a lot of public figures, influencers, and the likes of Pamela Anderson is now bearing it all, and people are
Yes.
just not really giving an fuck anymore. They're just like,
No.
this is me. You like it, you don't. See you later. But I think
As
the
it
more you
always should be, too.
Exactly. And I think the more you start being yourself, I think the more you start to love yourself. And I think you start to get the work that you want. Because now that I'm just being
Yes.
myself, I've noticed that people want to chat with me and they want to work with me. But before, I just wasn't really kind of giving everybody the real me. I was kind of,
Yes.
I was closed. I was like, I didn't want anybody in my life. And now I'm just like an open book. Ask me anything. I'll tell you
Yeah.
everything now. Because I feel comfortable to do that now. Where
Yes.
before, I was too shy to say, no, I want to get it done because of I didn't. I just was so naive to everything
Yeah.
that I was just doing it to fit in, I suppose.
And I love having conversations like this. Obviously, this is a plastic surgery podcast and I'm a plastic surgery nurse, but I love giving women different stories of yes, plastic surgery can be great. It can be life changing, but there's also a dark side to it where there's complications. There's a lot of mental health aspects that go into it. There's a lot of pros and a lot of cons, and I love displaying all of it so anyone can make the right educated choice for themselves. That is my goal, just to put all the info on the
Amen,
table. All the
chicken.
info is out there,
Amen,
and
chicken.
you think about it and what you decide to do, you at least have all the info that you need. So,
Exactly. Yeah, I agree
yeah.
with you. And I think it's good that you have this kind of podcast. I think that's why I had so many requests to do podcasts. And when you messaged me and we were chatting, I looked at your videos and I was like, I like this because you're discussing different scenarios, different
Hmm.
topics, different people, not just celebrities. You're talking to real people and real
Yeah.
stars. I think that's the
Influencers,
kind of
moms,
exactly.
everyday girls,
Exactly,
everybody.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, and no
Everyone
one's
has a different,
different.
yeah, everyone has
Exactly,
a different story and journey, and I love
exactly.
to hear it all.
I love it. And I think that's why I wanted to do this podcast. So thanks for having me, chicken.
Alan, you are amazing. You are the best chicken ever. And I appreciate you coming on and taking time. You have been busy with interviews and TV and radio and
Oh, I know
everything. So
it's
the
been crazy, but look, I'm very grateful, and every day I wake up, I pinch myself and say, "Oh my God, I got to tell my story to the world," and I just love receiving messages every day. Where before, again, I get messages in my inbox, I never really respond because it's not that I didn't care, I just didn't know how to talk
to,
properly to people, yeah, or
yeah,
what to say. But now when I receive a message, I respond back to everybody. I'm just like,
good. I
thank you.
love it.
I really appreciate your time because if someone can come out their way and, message me a big essay telling me why they loved me and what I've done for them and what they've learned from me, I think the only thing I can do is just respond back and appreciate that message
Respond.
and
Yeah.
just
And keep
respect
on
them
doing what you're
because
doing. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, I'm very grateful and I enjoyed my interview today.
Thank you. And you guys, we have 2 more episodes that drop for Plastic Surgery Rewind on E. So you guys have to tune in and you can watch it. It's on Peacock.
You can stream it on Peacock, and
Mhm.
if you have any Canadian audiences or any Irish or UK audience, you can stream it on Hey You.
Yes, and tune in to see Alan, and we'll be tagging and collabing with Alan, so you guys can go to the page, his Instagram, and check out all the content and all the clips. And I'm definitely going to be keeping up with you and seeing what you're up to.
100% chicken. And when I'm in Beverly Hills, you live in Beverly Hills, yeah?
Yes,
When
work
I'm
in
in Beverly
Beverly
Hills
Hills.
the next time, I'll give you a call for a coffee, chicken, okay?
Yes, yes. Let me know when you're
Lovely.
back in LA, California.
Lovely. Love a little
Uh,
bit of coffee.
all right, you guys. Well, thank you for tuning in to this episode, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.